Zahir, can you mute yourself? There's a lot of background noise. Okay. Can we start, Zahir?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay.
Let me check who is this. Waiting for name. I think is it Mannan or Sachin? Who is this?
Yeah, this is Manan here.
Mannan. Yeah, Mannan.
I request all of you to please mute yourself. Okay. Okay, so let's start. So as you know, we are here for the demo session on SAP S4 HANA, and we are going to talk about finance, because when you talk about SAP S4 HANA, it is the new version, or we can say it is a completely new product which is redesigned by SAP to come up with a completely new experience, because we already know and we are already working on SAP from last many years. There is still some background noise. Can you just mute yourself? Okay, maybe I'll mute it from here. Sorry, I'm also not able to do that. Please mute yourself. There is background noise. Yes, now it is good. Okay, so I was saying you that SAP S4 HANA is a new product which is delivered by SAP, and it is a completely redesigned product. Redesigned means what? It is providing you many new features which were never available in SAP till now. Okay, and these new features are available in both, or I can say in three different areas, which is finance, then you have supply chain, that is logistics, and then you have HR. So SAP S4 HANA also comes up with three different areas. Within finance, as you know, there are different modules like financials, controlling, financial supply chain management. These are all part of financial solutions, even the BPC. Okay, and when you go to logistics, the modules like materials management, sales and distribution, production planning. So all the modules which you were able to use in the traditional system, that they are also available in SAP S4 HANA, also with the simplified processes. Okay, so we are going to focus on finance here. So we are not going to talk much about the other areas into logistics and HR, but we are going to have a focus on financials. So when you talk about SAP S4 HANA Finance, SAP introduced this particular module or this particular product in 2015. Okay, so in March 2015, or maybe in towards the end of 2014, SAP introduced a product called as SAP Simple Finance. It was not SAP S4 HANA, it was SAP Simple Finance. Okay, and then in 2015, third month of 2015, 1503 was a second version of SAP Simple Finance. Okay, why it was called as Simple Finance? Because it was only simplifying financial functionalities. As I told you, when we talk about SAP S4 HANA, it is not only simplifying finance, it is simplifying logistics as well as HR processes also. But when SAP introduced SAP Simple Finance, it was only simplifying the financial processes. Then the question is, when exactly SAP has came up with the simplifications in logistics and HR? So SAP came up with all the simplifications in the same year, that is 2015, in the month of November, 1511. So 1511 was the first version or first product by SAP, which not only simplifies the financials, but also simplifies the other areas like logistics and HR. Okay, and because it is simplifying all areas, it is not only concentrating on finance, that is the reason it is not called as Simple Finance, it is renamed as SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management. So what is SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management? It means it is a product which is going to simplify major processes in ERP, whatever processes like finance, HR, logistics. Within logistics, as I told you, MMSD, everything has been simplified in SAP S4 HANA. So 1511 was the first version on SAP S4 HANA, and after that, there are a lot of versions which are expected in near future also. Okay, so after 1511, SAP already came up with 1610. Okay, that is in the October month of 2016, SAP came up with the second version on premise on SAP S4 HANA, which is 1610. And in next 1 or 2 months, we are also expecting third version, that is 1709. Okay, so this revolution will continue for another 2-3 years. What exactly they are trying to do? They are trying to simplify more and more processes. So in 1511, they identified some core processes, they simplified them. Then in 1610, they identified next set of processes which can be improvised, and they came up with the improvised processes. In 1709, again, there will be some processes which will be improvised, and this revolution will continue till all the modules in SAP are not completely simplified. Now, coming to finance. So does it mean that if I, let's say, if I understand what is 1610 from finance point of view, then SAP is going to change something in 1709, or when SAP will come up with 1709, will it also include some other features which we are not discussing in this course? The answer is mostly not, because what SAP is doing is they are simplifying module by module. That is the reason the first module they simplified was SAP Simple Finance. So 1503 already consists of many features from finance point of view which are already simplified. So when SAP came up with 1511, the concentration was not on finance because finance was already simplified. So they concentrated more on logistics processes. Again, when they came up with 1610, they concentrated on more logistics processes because finance is already simplified. So even 1709, 1810 or 1809, whatever future versions are going to come, there is not much of change expected from the finance point of view because finance is already simplified starting from Simple Finance itself. Okay, so that is the whole story of SAP S4 HANA. Let me just quick recap. So SAP, we already know it is a very good product which we are using from years. Now SAP is trying to make sure that this product is becoming more and more simple. So they are identifying process by process, module by module, and they are simplifying the product. So first they identified finance module. They identified some core areas in finance which can be simplified. They came up with SAP Simple Finance 1.0 in 2014. In 2015, month of March, they came up with second version of Simple Finance, which is SAP Simple Finance 1503. Again, in the month of November 2015, SAP simplified logistics processes. They came up with 1511, and the last version, which is available in the market, is 1610. Okay, so if you are going for 1511 or 1610, your logistics processes are also simplified, and whatever processes were simplified in Simple Finance, they are already available in 1511 and 1610 also. Okay, so what we are going to understand in this course, we are going to use the latest version 1610, and we are going to talk about each and every area where there is a simplifications in finance. Okay, so this is what we are going to talk about in around 30 hours of time. So overall, we'll be spending around 30 hours to complete this course, and we are going to talk about many simplifications which are available from the financial point of view. Okay, so before I talk about what are the different things that we are going to focus on in our course, let me tell you some basic idea why exactly SAP came up with SAP Simple Finance or SAP S4 HANA. So going back to the old days, let's say 3 to 4 years back when we were having only SAP ECC, EHP7 or EHP6, whatever we were using. So that was also a very good product. We are not at all saying that SAP ECC is not a good product and SAP S4 HANA is something which is definitely going to in the sense it is definitely going to uh, give more and more features rather than ECC. If we talk from the processes point of view, processes were already very well designed in ECC. But the way in which you execute the transactions and the way in which you get the reports, that was too slow. Okay, what I mean is today, if I want to, let's say, perform the procure to pay cycle, so I was able to do it in ECC also. In ECC also, I was able to do create the PR, convert it to PO, get a Miro, everything I was able to do. Okay, so we are not saying that SAP is providing some business features which are not available in SAP ECC. That is not the case at all. SAP ECC was already providing you most of the processes, but only thing is the way in which we were executing it, the way in which we were getting the reports, that was too slow. And why it was slow? Because we were using traditional databases. Now, what are traditional databases? Traditional databases means the databases, they were not available directly from SAP. They were the third-party databases. Okay, whatever database you talk about, SQL, Oracle, whatever database you talk about, they are third-party database. They are not directly created by SAP. And since we were using the third-party database, and this database were developed many years back. So if you see the history of SQL, Oracle, they were developed long back. Okay, and that is the reason their architecture is designed in such a way that there are a lot of challenges in those databases. That is the reason SAP thought of coming up with their own database, that is SAP HANA, which makes the use of the new dimensional technologies which is available in the market, okay, and which is going to make your transactions and reportings faster. How exactly, how SAP HANA achieves that, that is something which we'll understand in our first session. So when we'll talk about the SAP HANA, how it is faster and all, you will be getting to know a lot of different terms like what is in-memory computing, what is columnar-based data storage, okay, what is simplification in the data model. All these things we'll talk about when we'll discuss the first session on SAP HANA. So first thing, I told you, the processes were good, but the speed was a challenge. So speed issue has been resolved with SAP HANA. Coming to the second point, high cost of operations. So as I told you, processes were available, but the way in which you were executing the processes, they were not simple. They were very complicated. So for example, if I am a new user, I'm joining an organization and I'm supposed to create a purchase requisition or purchase order. So normally, before you start doing the transaction, somebody will train you on how to use the screens. So when someone will show you ME51 screen or ME21N screen, okay, you know there are a lot of fields which are really confusing. Okay, so it is very difficult to understand for the new user who is looking at SAP screen for the first time to understand how SAP works. Okay, and there are high chances that when you leave him alone and you will ask him to process some transactions, initially for some time, you will definitely do a lot of errors. Why? Because there is a lot of confusion, because there are a lot of fields, which one to insert, which one to keep it blank, that is totally confusion. Okay, but nowadays, as you can see, new and new apps are coming onto your mobile devices, and you don't even need any training to work on those apps. Okay, why? Because they are simplified. It is very clearly specified what needs to be done. Instead of showing you 100 columns, they only show you 5 columns which are relevant to you. Okay, so that is the kind of thing which now SAP is coming up with SAP Fiori. So there is a new user experience. There is a new user screen. You don't need ME21N, ME51N, or maybe if you talk about the financial transactions, FB60, all these transactions you don't need to remember, and you don't need to remember the fields which needs to be entered and which not. Because based on your role, system is automatically going to show you only the fields which are important for you. Other fields will be completely hidden. Okay. So in short, there is no need of big exercise for providing the trainings to the end users. Screens are simple to use. User can understand on their own. Okay. And there are less chances of errors. So ultimately, the time required to process a transaction. So today, if you are creating, let's say, 1,000 invoices in a day, with SAP Fiori, you can process 3,000 invoices, for example. Okay, so you are saving 3 times the time. Okay, which means if there are 3 persons who are working in your department to process the invoice, only one person will be enough because he can take the workload of all the invoices with SAP Fiori, and 2 persons can actually perform some value addition instead of just processing the transactions. That is the whole idea. The amount of resources you require to process the transaction, that will come down, and your resources will focus on more important activities rather than processing the transactions. Okay, that is the whole idea of SAP S4 HANA. That is the reason they came up with SAP Fiori. And the third one is high cost of infrastructure. So today, if I want to, let's say, go for SAP, okay, if I'm a new customer, I don't have SAP as of today, but I'm planning to implement SAP. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to invest a lot of amount to get the hardware, to get the licenses. There are a lot of things, the networking devices, you need the resources, who is going to take care of those resources. So all these things will cost you a very big one-time cost. Okay, with SAP S4 HANA, SAP is offering the cloud solution, cloud deployment option. What is cloud? Cloud means no need to worry about purchasing hardware, no need to worry about having a team who is going to take care of that. SAP will provide you all the required resources. You just need to pay the licensing fees and you can start using pre-delivered, pre-configured SAP without any additional resources. Okay, so that is the kind of thing through which you can save a lot of cost on your infrastructure. Okay, we'll discuss more about this, what is on premise, what is on cloud, what is the difference, when the customer should go on premise, when the customer should go on cloud. But this is just a brief introduction that SAP allows you the option now with SAP S4 HANA that instead of purchasing everything, no need to purchase, you just pay the licensing fees, and all the hardwares and components, even the resources like the technical consultants who are going to take care of the basis activities, that will be completely taken care by SAP. You just need to pay the license cost based on the users who are going to perform the transactions. Okay, not only this, when we are talking about high cost of infrastructure, so if I give you a basic example today, if I'm using SAP from last many years, now you must understand the way in which the business used to work earlier. Today there is a lot of difference. So for example, let's say if I go 5 years back, it was not practically possible, or maybe it was not used as it is being used today, the online kind of marketing or online kind of shopping. So 5 years back, whenever we wanted to purchase anything, we were going to the market, okay, and we were visiting the shop physically. That was a kind of thing that we were doing. Today, most of the cases, we are just performing the online order. Even if we talk about, let's say, moving from one place to another place, we used to go into the road and we need to find out a taxi. Today, you can book a taxi from your mobile and it will be waiting for you. So this is something, what it is changing. It is changing the way in which the consumer or the customer is treated. So customer is treated as a king now. Okay, earlier, whenever customer wanted something, he need to go outside, he need to wait for the taxi. But today, customer is the king. He can just click a mobile button and he is getting the best user experience. Okay, sitting at a home, he can order something sitting at a home. He can order the taxis also. So this is a way the business is working today. Okay, and in order to make sure, this is called as a digital transformation. Okay, and SAP S4 HANA, the main intention of SAP S4 HANA is to bring the digital transformation within SAP. So this is the practical example I gave you, what is happening on day-to-day basis. What about SAP? SAP is also keeping on upgrading itself. So for example, earlier we were using SAP ECC as an ERP. Then around 10 years back, there was a need of good customer relationship management. So SAP came up with SAP CRM. Then there was a need of having good, let's say, some portal which takes care of all your employees. Okay, success factor was a portal which was doing good, so SAP acquired that portal. Now success factor is also part of SAP. Again, there was a need of very strong collaboration with supplier, so Ariba was a network which was allowing all these things. So SAP also acquired Ariba. Ariba is also now part of SAP. So what was happening is, because the need of the business is getting changed, there are a lot of different components or different products which are available in the market, and when SAP is purchasing them, there is a interface required between these products. So if your ECC is in between, you need to connect it to your Ariba, you need to connect it to your CRM, you need to connect it to, from finance point of view, you need to connect it to the BPC, BW. Okay, so this is on top of your ECC, which means it is not directly available in your main product. Your main product is ERP. BPC is a separate product, right? You need to transfer the data from ECC to BPC, from BPC to ECC again if it is required. So what is this? This means there are lot of interfaces. It is not, everything is not available in the common platform. There are different platforms. Now with SAP S4 HANA, the idea is to bring more and more functionalities directly on the core system. So if I give you the example from finance point of view, from BPC, SAP already has a component called as IBP, which is Integrated Business Planning, available on the core system. So if you want to do the planning, whatever planning you were doing in BPC, you no more require data to be transferred from your main component to other component. All these things are available in the same component. Okay, so that is the kind of thing which is the target of SAP S4 HANA. Okay, now we just talk about SAP S4 HANA without focusing on our core area, that is finance. So if you ask me, we understood now what is SAP S4 HANA, but can you tell us how the financial user or how the financial department, how the CFO will be happy to see SAP S4 HANA? What are the benefits to the end user, to the CFO, to the organization from finance point of view? So if I give you one single point, you will definitely realize that yes, this is something which will be definitely liked by the customers. You go to any company, manufacturing, distribution, chemical, whatever industry it is, the biggest challenge is to get their financial reports on time and their closing on time. So normally, based different companies have different policies for the closing point of view. Some of the companies, they want everything to be closed by 5th of the month. Some of the companies want to be closed by 2nd of the month, and some of the companies allow the end users to complete all the period end activities by, let's say, 10th of the month. But how much of the time they are able to close on time? Okay, this is the question. Now, according to the analysis, 70% of the companies, or 70% of the times, companies are not able to close their books on time, which is ultimately resulting in what? Tax penalties, right? So why? Now coming to why they are not able to close the books on time. They are not able to close the books on time because they are not getting the reports in the timely manner. What does this mean? What is timely manner? Timely manner means if I want the report today, I'm not able to get that, or maybe if I'm able to get that also, when I compare two reports, there is a reconciliation issue. Let's say I got a report from accounts payables, and when I'm comparing these reports, just for example, I'm comparing these reports with my general ledger accounting or controlling, it is not matching. So that report is incomplete, right? I cannot submit that report till the time I don't perform the reconciliation activity. But why this reconciliation issue has come at first place? There are a lot of possibilities in reconciliation issues, right? Every monthly, every yearly, you will find a lot of reconciliation issues in each and every industry. The reason is the data model is complicated in SAP. Data model is complicated, it is slower, which is causing the companies to close their books not on time. Okay, so that is the biggest use case when it comes to SAP S4 HANA. Because SAP uses HANA database, your reports can be executed faster. Because, as I told you, there are embedded functionalities in the core system, which means normally if what you do when you want to perform the reportings, many of reports you are not getting from your direct system, from direct your ECC system. You are dependent on BW, BI, right, to get those reports. So now with SAP S4 HANA, as I told you, you are getting embedded BW, you are getting embedded planning tool. So all these reports will be available in the same system and they will be real time whenever you want to see it. It is not like I'll perform the period and activities and then only I'll be able to see the reports. Most of the reports you can see in real time. So that is the biggest use case, which I think which will definitely impress the CFOs companies to go for SAP S4 HANA. Okay, now let's talk about what we are going to talk about in this course. So I have not put a lot of things here, but the first line itself tells you all. Okay, I don't want to uh, write short topics here. Rather than that, I just enter the major points, and when you see the first line, I think that is more than sufficient. Even if you don't look at the remaining things, it will be fine. We are going to talk about the complete certification documents, AC 100 and AC 110. Okay, and when I'm saying we are going to talk about this both these courses, it doesn't mean that we are only going to theoretically discuss those topics. Each and every area, whatever is maintained in this document, we are going to configure that practically in the 1610 system. Okay, each and everything. When I say, I mean each and everything, whatever is entered in this document, it will be covered in too much of detail. Okay, so when I'm saying that, let me just give you the overview of what is covered in these documents. So first, we'll start with overview of SAP HANA, because before we talk about what SAP S4 HANA is, it will make sense that the total S4 HANA is built upon SAP HANA database. So what is the backbone of SAP S4 HANA? So we'll talk about what is in-memory computing, column-based data storage, and some terms which you keep on hearing on day-to-day basis when you start working on SAP HANA. Okay, first we talk about SAP HANA, then we'll talk about SAP S4 HANA. Okay, and we are going to concentrate on 1610. Then we'll directly go to our simple finance topic. Once you get the complete overview, we'll directly talk about the simple finance. Understanding the prerequisites, this is very important. If a customer today is using SAP ECC system and he wants to migrate to SAP S4 HANA, okay, or SAP Simple Finance, in that case, what are the prerequisites? So we will talk about this point
Gaurav will connect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Gaurav, we can. There was
Yeah,
an.
sorry, there was
Hmm.
disconnect. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I was talking about. Can you mute yourself, Sair? Yes, I was talking about the preparations and prerequisites from the migration point of view. So whenever we'll be talking about this point, we are actually going to concentrate on all the different versions of SAP Simple Finance and SAP S4 HANA, which means if a customer today, they are using SAP ECC, let's say EHP6, and they want to move to Simple Finance 1503, what will be the prerequisites? If he is moving to 1605, what will be the prerequisites? Similarly, from 1511, 1610 point of view, what will be the prerequisites? Okay, so we'll be talking about all the different versions till 1610. And if possible, if before we complete this course, even 1709 is also available, we will incorporate those changes also in our course. Okay, so we'll be talking about the system, configuring the system from the migration point of view, which means, as I told you, whatever configuration is required, whatever are the delta configurations in SAP S4 HANA from finance point of view, we'll be talking about all those configurations. And we'll be talking about this particular course from two separate projects. One is the implementation project, which is a fresh implementation, which means customer was not using SAP at all. How will he implement SAP S4 HANA, and how is he going to configure the financials? Second is, if the customer is already using SAP and they want to migrate their existing system to SAP S4 HANA, in that case, how the migration will work. Both of these projects we are going to focus on, and there is third kind of project also, which is called as central finance. Okay, so that central finance means if you are using multiple SAP systems today, and if you want to consolidate all your current systems to get your reporting in one common system, that will be called as a central finance system. So that is also something which we'll be discussing. So we are going to discuss three kind of projects: new implementation, system conversion, and central finance. Okay, so all these things are by default, like we are going to talk about general ledger accounting, asset accounting, management accounting, cash management, plus whatever has been changed from AR and AP point of view. From functionality point of view, AR and AP is available as it is. But we need to understand which Fiori apps are available, for example, how to use the Fiori apps, how to configure your own screen from Fiori point of view. Plus, one very important thing which I missed here and which is not available in both of these courses is SAP Activate methodology. So today, if we are using SAP ECC, wherever we are going for SAP ECC implementation, we are using SF methodology, right? So going forward, instead of SF with SAP S4 HANA, SAP came up with a new methodology called as SAP Activate. So we'll be focusing on that methodology also in this course. Okay, so that is all about this course. If you have any questions, you can ask. Any question, Don? If you have any questions, either you can write in the chat screen or you can just unmute yourself and proceed with your question. Okay, Zahir, can you tell them like when exactly we are starting and all other stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Don, are you there? Muhammad. Cost is $750. Okay, and it will include certification documents. It will include server access for 2 months. You'll get the supported document as that Gaurav already mentioned here. Okay, and you'll get system access, as well as you'll get there will be the mock interview after completion of course. Okay, and the total duration will be 30 to 35 hours. Okay, I'm just going to share with you the what are the certification document we are going to share with. Okay, so please be online. Wait. Okay, Mohammed, do you have any more questions? So are you able to see this screen? Okay, this is the latest documents which are available in market for certifications 1610. Okay, and this complete documents will share with you. Okay, lot of PDFs. Each PDF having a questions answer at the end of pages, and each pages having a 12 around 200 pages, 200 to 300 pages as per the topic wise. So it's a standard document. It's for example SAP S4 C430. Okay, as for HANA Cloud for Finance, S4 400 overview financial in SAP S4 HANA. Okay, and S4 double zero overview is for HANA Finance. Okay, so these all the documents is the financial accounting S4 401, S4 401. So this S4 402 management accounting, S4 F03 finance migrations to SAP S4 HANA. Then there is a SAP Central Finance. Again there is a S4 F10, the business process and financial accounting, and this S410 finance. So both the version that will be available. There is a call 03 and call 05. Okay, so you'll get each and everything. So these are the way means complete documents, complete set of documents. Okay, where each and everything is available. As you can see, the cash management, PPC, asset management, introductions, implementation scenario. So S4H handed where include the implementation scenario, the live scenario, which will help for you implementations. During the implementation, it will be useful. Okay. Again, there is a S4H 400 analytical overview. For HANA embedded analytical modeling basic, including as for HANA financial accounting part 1, part 2. Okay. So it's all the documents. Okay. So there's a lot of documents. We will give additional for few documents which will be helpful for you. So these all are related to the standard documents. So any more questions, Mohammed? Don? So we are going to start this batch means next weekend, and it will be at the same time. Okay, the 6 a.m. as per the central time of US, and 7 a.m. as per the eastern time of US. Okay. Registration fee that will be the $50. Okay, if you will do the registration, then it will be booked for. Don, Mohammed, do you have any more questions? Any technical questions? You can unmute yourself and speak. Okay.
So,
Yes, Mohammed.
yeah, Zair, I think the same course I took it before, right, with Naveen? Is it the same one, right?
No. The Naveen is different, and this trainer is very different. Okay. It's, about Gaurav is having around 13-year experience. Okay, he already
Uh-huh.
implement S4 HANA in industry. He's working into one of the MNC company, and it designation as a project manager. Okay, he's
Uh-huh.
having the
But
corporate level of experience. Okay,
but he can, but the course was the same, right?
the codes no, there's changes, right? It's version changes
But,
1610. It was
yeah,
1. Yeah.
yeah, 1610. I have one question with Gaurav. Uh, does it include all logistics like SD?
No. It's complete finance.
Okay,
Guru, are you there?
okay. Ye-
Yes, Zair.
Is it purely finance, right? Is there
Yes,
any
yes, yes.
integrations? Yeah.
No. Integration wise, yes, we will be having 1 or 2 sessions which will be focusing on the integration with other modules. But otherwise, this is a finance course. Okay, so we'll not concentrate more on the logistics processes because for that we already have the different course which is SAP S4 HANA Logistics.
Okay, okay. So,
Yes, Manan, tell me. Do you have any more questions? None? Are you there? Okay, Gaurav, I think we will close for today. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.